Yeah.
Action. We're back. Still dry January. I haven't broken yet. Although this past weekend, my sports teams conspired to try to make me drink. Arsenal took an L. The Eagles took an L.
Yep.
And I stayed the course. January is still dry. And this week I have the best sparkling water in the business. A Trader Joe's raspberry lime.
Oh boy.
Doesn't seem like it would be, but stuff slaps. Oh yeah.
Trader Joe's. I haven't been to a Trader Joe's in a long time. Not because I don't like it, but because our Trader Joe's here is just like absolutely ridiculously busy and in a terrible spot to get to. So I just avoid it.
That's a bummer. Yeah. We try to do most of our shopping at Trader Joe's if we can, but we have a small Trader Joe's, so there's not everything we can get there. So it's usually multiple trips. But this is a wrestling podcast, not a grocery podcast. And welcome to Let Me Pod to you. I'm Jacob. You can block me on Twitter at We Hate Jacob. I'm here with my co-host Demetri, who I'm here with every week. You can find him on Twitter at Demetri Talks. Demetri, how'd you feel about the wrestling this week?
Wrestling was okay. I would say it was okay. What was more interesting to me was the internet community.
Yeah, fair enough.
Just going wild, buck wild about everything, it seems.
Did you watch Raw?
Yes, I did.
Okay, you'll have to carry Raw then. Our format is Demetri's top of the mid headlines, stock rising, stocks falling. These can be specific wrestlers, storylines, etc. to kick off a conversation. But Demetri, I think R-Truth's just going to be top of the mid for the foreseeable future.
He's the guy, man. He's the guy. Did you? Okay, I know you didn't watch Raw, but did you see the clip?
Okay. I saw the clip. Mm-hmm.
You saw the the full
thing.
So good.
He's photoshopped himself into all of the Judgment Day events and lore, and that when he was born, he looked the doctor in the eye and he said, "One day I'm going to be a member of Judgment Day."
It was so good. It's so ridiculous. I feel like only R-Truth can pull it off.
100%. Only R-Truth can pull it off.
Right. It's just so ridiculous, but it's just so entertaining. And I feel like he's going to be top of the mid for the foreseeable future because it feels like every week he just like tops himself. And it's like, whoa, pause. It feels like every week, he's doing something to top himself. And the Live Laugh Judgment Day. Did you see they came out with t-shirts?
Yeah.
I actually love that catchphrase. That's so funny, man.
But it's also that like the fact that he thinks his role in the Judgment Day is to make the group more likable.
Mm-hmm. Which like, realistically
it is. It's just the whole thing's insane.
It's so good. It's crazy. It almost feels like a rehash of the Sammy Bloodline story, but just
I could see that
with a slight tweak. Kind of a similar
with
deal.
More comedy though.
Way more comedy. So yeah, interesting.
All right, give me a headline.
Streets are saying Blood's back. You seen? I'm not saying it's back. I think it's just kind of like a coincidence. I don't think anything happened on purpose. But
it was a botch. Blood's not back.
It was a botch. Blood's not back. Blood's not back. People are saying Blood's back. Blood's not back. I wanted to talk about this a little bit though because I'm not a guy that like needs to see blood in wrestling. Like I don't need every match to be John Moxley. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't have to be that every match. But I do feel in certain circumstances, much more rare. I would say it should be more rare, but like I think adding blood to the equation really just like heightens the look and the feel of certain feuds.
I've got a prime example of this.
Go ahead.
Brock Lesnar, Cody Rhodes when Brock bleeded.
Yes. When he broke himself open the hard way.
Yeah. Like Cody made Brock bleed. Yeah. That's what you get out of that from a storyline perspective. That's huge. That is extremely powerful for you to work with. The man that has been made invincible bled at the hands of Cody Rhodes. Like that's where it can be a storytelling device and not just a violence device.
Right? It's a great storytelling device. when used sparingly and in the right scenarios, it can be like an iconic image. Like, and burnt into my minds are like images of like Stone Cold on the mat, face bloody as hell. That is burnt into my memory. Another one that's burned into my memory, freaking John Cena. I think it was versus Umaga. Boy was bloody as hell. And that one is burnt into my memory. It's just like wrestling, as much as it is an athletic thing, it's also an art form. And when you add something like blood to the equation, when it calls for it, it can really elevate the art form.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. And what we were starting this conversation is the triple threat match on SmackDown. LA Knight got busted open after a big flippity-doo by AJ Styles.
Flippity-doo.
And I mean, they showed the slow motion replay, and you can just see that as AJ's coming down, his right forearm to elbow pops LA Knight right across the head. Oop. And it just, you got to cut from it. Shit happens. I mean, I don't think LA Knight seemed too phased. He came from TNA.
He's old school, like, man. He fucks with that.
Yeah, I mean, he's a man. He's 40. Like, he's fine with it. It was just weird, though. You know, you see Charles Robinson, like, get the gloves out. And I'm like, I didn't even remember when they didn't even give the WWE referees gloves anymore because there was a fully no blood policy. Like, I remember there was a match earlier this year. I can't remember who it was, but someone got cut and they weren't supposed to. And the ref had to run to the corner and was like going like this, like to get gloves from the doctor.
I vaguely remember that.
And I was like, bro, like, you don't even send the refs out with gloves in their pockets just in case.
Right. Yeah. It's just like, just like, no, it's not a possibility. We don't bleed here. It's impossible. Yeah.
But like, I mean, the AEW refs, like, they're pros at the, like, still watching the action, like gloves half on, 1, 2, kick, ready to go. Like they are glove experts. Like they probably do like glove training exercises.
They do glove training exercises like corporate jobs force those security exercises on you.
Exactly. Something else the streets were talking about this week was Mercedes Moné.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone needs to calm the fuck down.
Amen, brother. So much anger.
She was never going to debut at Daly's Place last night.
No way.
Do you want to know if she's going to debut? It's going to be at Revolution.
Oh, hold on. I'm going to have to fix that in post. I think you meant to say Rumble.
I did not mean to say the Rumble because she is not showing up at the Rumble. AEW Revolution. We're still like 8 weeks away. AEW Revolution 2024. Sunday, March 3rd. So we're about 6 weeks away from that. It's sold out. There's like 140 tickets available. And like they're talking about maybe opening up another small section, but they're getting into that point where it's like almost behind the stage.
Mm-hmm.
So they can't really open up anymore. It's a sellout. It's the first pay-per-view of the year. You know, that might be where it happens. I think that would be where you do it. If you're going to do it, you do it at a pay-per-view. You bring her out to 15,000 cheering fans. If it's going to happen in AEW, again, I believe in the fight for profit. So it's going to be in AEW.
It's going to be in the WWE.
You can keep talking your shit about the Rumble. If WWE is going to do it, of course, that's when you do it. That's when you do it.
You saw her picture with Bailey recently?
Yeah, I did. They're just trolling.
They're just good friends. They're trolling. They want to work together.
Mercedes Moné wants a bag, dog. Like,
she can get a bag, just maybe not the bag.
She wants the bag. She wants 2 of the bags. I don't know, man. I don't know. I've got great memories of when she was known as Sasha Banks in the Rumble, but I don't think it's happening. She's just going to hit us with the split again. She's going to go into the Rumble and she's going to hit us with the split again. And if listen to her, if Mercedes Moné, Sasha Banks, comes back to the Rumble, right? And the first thing she does is hit a split,
the internet is going to explode. Okay? That's all I'm going to say. The internet is going to self-destruct and explode. Yeah. All right? And I'm here for it. And that's exactly why she's coming back at the Rumble.
All right. If that's the move, then I'm okay with it.
Hell yeah.
Bloodline Cinematic Universe.
Dun, dun, dun.
Uh-oh. Roman beat everybody up, and now he has a fatal 4-way at the Rumble. I think this is dumb.
I would like to hear your opinion on this. Elaborate.
I think it's dumb.
Elaborate.
If Roman Reigns loses this title without being pinned or submitted, and one of these other guys just does it, I'm not having that as the way that this title reign ends. Agreed. If that's the way this is booked, that is so fucking dumb. And I guess maybe WWE is looking at it like, oh, well, Roman doesn't need the title anymore. He doesn't.
But that would be a stupid way to end it.
Exactly. Yeah. There's no story there of like passing the torch, which I think is like, that's Cody Rhodes finishing his story, which unfortunately he's going to have to wait until WrestleMania 2025 since we're going to have Rock Roman in Philly. But that's just like such a weak way for this title reign to end if that's what they decide to do at the Rumble. I don't think that's what they're going to do. I think Roman Reigns is going to smash him, stack him, 1, 2, 3, and keep his belt.
Yeah, no, I think that's going to happen or some sort of funky disqualification, weird finish where there's like something funky that happens. And then obviously in that scenario, Roman doesn't lose the belt anyway. So
I guess if it's a fatal 4-way, there's no DQ for interference though, right?
Right. I think you're correct.
So if Solo and Jimmy get involved, I don't think they can be DQ'd.
Unless somebody comes out with like a weapon or something and somebody's handed a weapon and the ref sees it, then DQ. But then again, even if that happens, if somebody hits, like say somebody who's not Roman hits somebody else who's not Roman and there's a can that happen?
I don't think it can. Because then who wins?
That's a great question. I was sitting here thinking about it. I was like, wait,
I don't think there's a DQ in this. So maybe it's just leading the pathway to more shenanigans.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't love the booking. Like, I think they're trying to build this, like, Nick Aldis is tough.
He's the man.
Like, Roman Reigns can't do what he's done. He ain't no bitch like Adam Pearce.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Aldis got to hold him responsible. All right, cool. Roman Reigns better not lose his belt in a fucking fatal 4-way at the Royal Rumble. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree that he doesn't need the belt at this point in his run, but I also agree that him losing the belt here would be just like really deflating. Like, what the fuck? I feel like when he does finally lose the belt, it's going to be like the most like. I'm not going to say it's a huge
moment.
It's going to be huge. I'm not going to say it's going to be shocking because if it happens at Mania, it's going to be something we're like kind of expecting. So it's not going to feel like the Undertaker streak when he lost and everybody's like, oh my God. But when he does lose, I mean, if there were anything close to that in terms of scale in recent memory, that's probably the most big deal thing that's going to be talked about for a long time when it finally happens. So with that being said, yeah, it would be horseshit to have it happen in this match.
Do you think they're working on potentially Roman having a match with Nick Aldis?
Oh, shit. This is something that has never crossed my mind. That would be mighty interesting, my friend.
Because, I mean, Aldis is a wrestler.
Yeah. I think Aldis will eventually have a match. It seems like he's scrappy enough that he's going to like get beef with somebody and then eventually have a match. Kind of like Vince did back in the day with people who were on the roster. But I don't know if it'll be Roman. It would be really cool if it was Roman. That would be a very cool dynamic to see especially, Roman wins, he's going to like beat the boss and then like
Roman Aldis at the Elimination Chamber.
What a crazy idea. But I would be here for it. I would absolutely love to see that.
That would be something. Let's switch it up this week, and because we don't have a lot of stocks falling, so let's do stocks falling first and rising second. That work for you?
Yeah, it works for me, bub.
All right, what's your stock falling?
All the wrestling tribalism that goes on, dude. It's like it's so annoying.
It's so draining.
It's so draining. It just like it really makes me think of the same thing happens in video games, except like maybe back like in high school or middle school. Some people still do it as adults, but like most of the time now we're just like, yeah, we'll just play whatever. We have a preference. My friend group's on PlayStation, but I still play Xbox. I still play the Switch. I just got a PC. I play the PC. That being said, it's like the same thing with wrestling. You don't have to like watch one every week. I don't always watch. I typically don't watch AEW as much as I watch WWE. That doesn't mean I hate AEW.
And I'm the opposite. Like I usually will catch Dynamite, but Raw is hit or miss.
That doesn't mean I hate AEW. They're like they're cut from the same cloth. They're a similar thing. So on the realm of all my gamers out there, I think of it as like AEW is kind of like PC gaming and WWE is kind of like console gaming. And why is WWE like console gaming? Because it's way more accessible. A lot of people have seen it. There's a lot of history with it. It's just easy to turn on and watch because there's a lot of people that people are familiar with, and it's just familiar and comfortable for a lot of people. That doesn't mean it's always the better option, but it's just the one that most people have access to and a lot of people watch. Then there's AEW, which is like PC gaming, because I would say, sometimes, quite often, the wrestling can be a lot more varied on AEW.
It looks a lot different too.
Yeah, it looks a lot different. Wrestling can be varied. Like a PC, you're going to see a lot of different stuff that you wouldn't see on console, like you wouldn't see on WWE. It's going to be a little bit more for the niche or intense fan. Is that fair?
I think to a point. I mean, personally, the way I look at AEW compared to WWE is I think AEW has a lot more adult storylines, adult-oriented storylines, compared to WWE is sometimes very storyline lacking, as TK likes to remind people on Twitter a lot. For what it's worth, I think that for most of the time on AEW, things happen for a reason. There's a reason that matches happen. There isn't just I booked this because I want to see it. I mean, that's what the Continental Classic kind of was, but you're not going to see Samoa Joe versus Jeff Hardy for the world title in AEW. It's not going to happen. As many people that would maybe get to tune into Dynamite to see that, it's not going to happen. Because, hate to say it, Jeff Hardy's washed, and he can't put on a match quality-wise for the world title at this point in his career.
I hate hearing that.
I know you hate hearing it.
I know it's true.
But
I hate hearing it.
I know for a fact that if Vince was still booking the WWE and Jeff Hardy was there, there's always a chance that Vince would just say, no, you know what? I need something for Seth to do tonight. Seth Rollins versus Jeff Hardy for the world title. Maybe we haven't seen Jeff in 3 weeks, and the last time we did, he missed his swanton. But we're going to run it back anyway.
That is the most accurate description.
I'm right. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's because it's a name recognition kind of situation where, we're going to book it. Sure. And that you're not going to find that in AEW. Like Samoa Joe came out last night, was just even talking about how, there's going to be a new protocol to challenge for the world title. So if you want a piece of me and you want to get your head stepped in, come on down that ramp, have a conversation with me, and we'll talk about having a fight. And so Swerve came out. That was big. I was like, ooh, hope they don't do that too fast, because that's going to be a banger. I don't want that to be on a random Dynamite. I want that to be a pay-per-view. Hangman came down. Still some beef with Swerve. He's got some beef with Joe. And then the Hook signal went up, and Hook At the end, he just fuck off. He looked at Samoa Joe and he went 1 week and then turned around. And so booked next week is Hook Samoa Joe. Now, is that a little bit hand wavy? Yeah. But at the same time, Hook is 29-1 in his wrestling career in AEW. Wins and losses don't matter as much as they used to in AEW, but they still matter.
Yep.
So you can reasonably say this is a guy who is on a winning streak, has been very strong in every match he's been in. Why shouldn't he have a shot at the world title? He's going to be 29-2 after that world title shot, but let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if the kid can sink or swim.
Makes some logical sense.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, I think that's one of the things with AEW that also grinds people's gears. Because they're like, why the fuck is Hook? He hasn't done anything in the business. He's like 16. Why is he wrestling for the world title? I just, like, I'm not. It doesn't matter. Just enjoy the match. There's going to be so many suplexes.
That's my big thing. It's just like, I feel like people just don't know how to just enjoy something. It's like, always got to pick something apart. Like, it's just like, I like this one thing, so this other thing has to be awful. No, bro. Both can be good to all right or great, whatever. But doesn't just because you like one doesn't mean the other one's awful. It doesn't mean you don't have to sit here and justify why you watch one show over the other one. It's fine. You just like what you like, man.
Yeah, and I mean, my stock falling this week is Raw because I had no interest in watching it.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
National Championship game was on. I watched that.
I did. I also I watched that live. I watched the Natty instead of Raw. I watched the Raw later. Yeah.
And like I saw on Twitter what was going on with Raw. I checked out a recap, be like, is it worth tuning in for? And what seemed like was worth tuning in for was the Drew and Punk promo that opened the show, our Truth segment, and the main event, Cody and Shinsuke.
Yep. Now you got it. You nailed it.
So those are the three things that I watched. And like I read the Raw recap, like I just don't give a shit about most of the stuff that happened on this show. Mm-hmm. Like I don't care. Like Finn Balor and Ciampa, don't care.
Oh yeah, that was a big don't care for me. Yeah.
Ludwig Kaiser and Kofi, and Ludwig's more of a heel. And he's
that was kind of interesting. Yeah, he was kind of a douchebag there.
Again, I just don't care. I just I don't. It doesn't move the needle for me. Women's Tag Team Championship. We already know how I feel about the current Women's Tag Team Champs, and I knew they weren't losing the belts back tonight. So again, don't care. Mm-hmm. Like I'm not into the way this is being booked anyway, so I'm not watching this match.
Circles back to the same problem. There's just too much time.
They're just filling stuff. And like I guess there was a meat party on with Otis and who did he wrestle? Was it a Viking guy?
Yeah.
Again, like
his name. I had to tell you something actually about that meat party segment. It was just really funny because what's his name? The one announcer.
Wade Barrett?
Accent. Yes. Wade Barrett. He's over there talking about like meat party this, meat party that. And then Michael Cole goes, you must love meat parties, huh? And then he goes, oh, Cole, I love meat parties. And then he says something like, you haven't seen one? Why don't you go on the internet and look it up? And I had to rewind it. I was like, did he just say go on the internet and search meat party?
Listeners, I do not recommend searching meat party on the internet.
It was really funny. That was a nice little moment in the boring Raw.
But like, I'm just like, again, this goes back to the wrestling tribalism. Yep. Am I gonna go start tweeting about how WWE sucks? Like no one watches Raw, fuck Raw, blah blah blah. No,
dog.
Like this Raw was bad. It was booked against the national championship game.
Yeah,
they know. Mm-hmm. They know that people are watching the Natty. And if you enjoyed Raw this week, good for you. I'm glad you did. I don't feel like I missed anything. Like it's fine.
Yeah,
maybe I'll watch it this week. Maybe I won't. Who knows?
We'll see.
We'll see. All right, stocks rising though.
Ooh. Who you want to go first? You want me to go first?
Yeah, you go first.
All right. Man, hey, what a week for gender it's been. Hasn't it been incredible?
WWE is so stupid for booking.
You were waiting on that one.
I was, yeah.
But dude, holy shit. What a weird time. 2024 and Jinder Mahal is trending on Twitter and he's going to have a championship match. So funny, so out of left field. And I honestly feel that Tony Khan single-handedly like fueled this fire so much, because it was a little like memey when it first happened, of course. But as soon as Tony Khan goes to Twitter and tweets what he tweets, that immediately gave Jinder just so much like backing on the internet. And like to a point, I see what he's saying, and I do see what AEW fans say, that like as soon as he tweets something negative, it's like the whole world's against him. And that's just because there's just so many WWE fans out there just waiting to like pounce on him. So like I get that, but at the same time, did you have to tweet that?
That's what I was gonna say. Like, Tony, just shut your damn mouth. Like,
you had to have known what was gonna happen. You had to have known. I really feel like that tweet single-handedly boosted Jinder more than anything AEW related. Like, Jinder is just like all over the internet now, and of course he has his championship match, and people are gonna tune in now. So I know I'm gonna like. I legitimately am more into tuning in now after the tweet, because it really just amplified and magnified things so much more.
So the question I have here now is who's the babyface and who's the heel? Because I think Jinder Mahal has got this groundswell of support to carry him to be the new WWE World Champion.
Oh my God, what a meme that would be if he became the WWE Champion.
Don't worry, if that happened, Judgment Day music hits, and
immediately
he's losing that shit right away.
What a crazy situation that would be, though, if that's actually what happens. You know, he wins the title. I don't think that would happen. I think they're going to give Seth his WrestleMania match, of course. But I am excited for this match now. And to add to that, Jinder had a little promo sesh with Seth, and Jinder's kind of the fucking man. Like, he holds his own on the mic for sure. Man can talk. He gives a good promo. Again, like I said last week, I was not watching WWE back when Jinder was champion. So I know a lot of people were pissed about it, and it was kind of like a really bad run that kind of has a really big stain on it. People aren't happy about it. I know pretty much nothing of it. I just know of what I see from Jinder now. And it seems like the guy has a really good sense of humor, and he knows how to capitalize on a moment, because the man can talk and he's very convincing. He's very hateable. And because of what Tony Khan tweeted, now that hate is turned to loved, and now he's very lovable.
It's so ridiculous.
Yes.
But hey, what are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
My first stock rising is for Brody Lee's proteges, Anna Jay and Preston Vance. Did this booking make sense? No. Kayfabe-wise, didn't make any sense. They are heels in heel factions. I mean, Anna's kind of a tweener right now, but sure. We'll book them to be on the babyface team for these 8-man and 8-woman tag matches on Dynamite last night. Sure. They made it very clear that it was about, kind of a, in honor of Brody Lee. That's why they're doing these tag matches, getting lots of stars out there. Sure. And this is what I came away from the men's 8-man tag match. Get Preston Vance out of La Faction and Gubernable right now. He's so good. He can absolutely go. He is very, very, very good in the ring. And I think he should be on TV more. And he'd probably be on TV more if he wasn't in this faction of losers that is not on TV. Like, he is in an AEW Dark faction right now. And there's no AEW Dark for him to show anything. Anna, I think she's kind of stagnated. I think she's got her move set. I don't think she's good on the mic at all. Her one move is her finisher, submission finisher, the Queen Slayer. It's fine. It's just a back headlock. Sure. I thought it was a really nice moment that they got the pins in both of their respective matches. So I liked it. I popped for it when they got the pins each. But let's see more Preston Vance and Anna Jay. I think she's good, kind of women's mid card, and she can kind of stay there.
Anytime I think of Anna Jay, I think of that one promo she had where she's like, "I got a fat ass and a bad attitude."
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the lasting impression for her right now.
That shit slaps though.
Your stock rising.
I watched AEW Homecoming. It was pretty cool. I liked it. I know they've done these shows before, but it's really cool to see such a unique arena that is, what's it called again? Daly's Place. Daly's Place. Yep. It's called Daly's Place. It's really cool to see. It's just really unique, very small, very intimate. And it feels like almost like kind of nostalgic to me because, believe it or not, I did watch AEW in the very, very beginning. I was watching it like, what? What? I was watching it weekly at the very beginning. Literally watched like the first episode. I watched from like the first episode for like 4 or 5 months. And it was intriguing. And I watched some during COVID, which they were at Daly's Place in COVID. So, all this time seeing Daly's Place, it's just cool to see it brought back. It just feels like almost nostalgic. It's really, I wish that more wrestling shows would go to more unique arenas. Not all the time, right? I don't want like, 5,000 seated arena, like every freaking show or whatever, however many seats there are. But it's cool as like a one-off here and there. It just gives a really unique visual that you don't typically get at wrestling shows. So I'm just a big fan of this. I hope they decide to continue it and do it every year because, I'm a fan.
I thought it was a really cool event that they had it like a homecoming event, is what they called it. I liked it from just like a making things a little different perspective. Mm-hmm. Stage was interesting. I hate the ramp that's like at ring level. I really don't like that at all. I think it looks so cheesy.
It's so funny looking.
It
makes it unique though.
Yeah, very unique. And I think it's really cool that AEW has a home, that's their home base. And I'm sure they'll do a show there every year. They should probably try to do it not during January because the commentary team kept saying about how it was cold. Because it's an open air amphitheater.
Oh, I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, it's an amphitheater that's attached to the Jag Stadium in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
So it was apparently a little chilly. So yeah, let's maybe do that in like April or May or something like that. But I think it's cool. WWE doesn't have a home. Like
they got that one. I don't even remember what the arena's called, but they got this one that it's got like red curtains on it. I couldn't tell you what it's called, but I couldn't.
I have no idea what you're talking about. So it's not like you could say like, oh yeah, this is like WWE's home arena.
Yeah,
like,
no. I don't think they have like a place like that. That's
they don't have a place that is their home base arena.
Yeah.
For Raw.
Yeah.
Like Raw and SmackDown have a show there every year that's made a big deal out of because it's their spot. Like
they've done this homecoming thing a couple times before, right? I think they just canceled it like last year or something.
AEW?
Yeah.
I don't know if they called it homecoming, but they definitely did a show at Daly's Place last year.
Gotcha. Yeah, not going to Google it now. We'll figure it out later.
Yeah. At least I'm pretty sure. Like if it's attached to the Jag Stadium, then I'm assuming Tony owns it. So they can go there whenever they want.
Facts.
And our last stock rising is for MVP, former United States champion MVP. He allegedly knocked out Chris Jericho a few years ago on the Jer Cruise. So we'll just leave it at that. But stock rising MVP.
Yeah, props buddy. To you, brother. Shout out to my guy.
We got to get him back on TV.
I love him. Yeah, he really needs to come back for real.
Do you think he should come back to manage Lashley and the Profits?
That's an interesting question. You know what? As much as like Montez is so good on the mic, but yeah, I think having him involved, he doesn't necessarily have to
be like the mouthpiece all the time because again, Montez is great on the mic and
yeah, but Bobby Lashley's being the mouthpiece for them and he can't talk.
That's facts. Yeah, it's been weird that Bobby is the mouthpiece because that's not his strength. His strength is his strength.
His strength is like, holy shit, look at this fucking guy. That's his strength.
Exactly. So, yeah, that's kind of strange. If they're going to go continue with Bobby, then absolutely, yeah, fucking move MVP into that spot if you're not going to utilize Montez for it.
I did see a rumor recently that they are looking at repackaging Omos in some way.
Yo, he's been gone for a minute.
Yeah, he's listed creatively as a big draw or something, or like he's to be used for select shows or something like that. Like I don't know why, but Omos is not a draw.
Yeah, he's just big.
Like if you maybe he'll probably pop up in the Rumble as like just someone who's there because like you got to have a big boy come out in the Rumble.
Big boy. Pop in, like eliminate a few people, and then a few people like got to help everybody to like get them out together. It's got to happen. Big Show's not there, so somebody's got to do it.
Yeah, somebody's got to do it. So we've got coming up here 2 episodes. So the week of not next week, but the following week, we'll be able to preview the Royal Rumble. Maybe we'll talk about who we think's going to return. If you say Sasha Banks, I'm gonna come through this computer screen and slap you.
That's who. But, okay, I will. She will be in the list, but I'll think of others.
Sure. So we'll you have that coming up, people. Seems like it's a bit of a slow time for wrestling right now. But Royal Rumble looks like it's going to be a big show, packed show. Going to be lots of people on it. We got the men's and women's Rumble matches. Roman Reigns has a match. The United States Championship is on the line. I'm sure Seth's going to have somebody to do something with there, maybe.
Probably.
Who knows? Maybe they'll find something for Rhea. Maybe they'll find something for Io. But we we're getting close to the Rumble, and there's not a lot booked for us. So let's see what happens.
Well, you can't really book around somebody who's going to be a surprise entrant like Sasha Banks. So,
anything else you're looking forward to over the next week?
No, nothing specific. I'm just really excited for the Rumble, man. That's what I'm most excited
for. I'm like, all right, let's get to the Rumble.
Come on, baby. It's almost my birthday. My birthday's on the 24th, so that's right before the Rumble.
Hell yeah, brother.
Gonna be 28.
Almost 30.
Almost 30. God damn it.
All right, everybody. Thank you for listening. You can follow us on Twitter and find us on YouTube at Let Me Pod To You. You can find Demetri at Demetri Talks. You can find me at We Hate Jacob. That's hate with an 8 if you want. Give us a review on your chosen podcast platform. Like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. Mm-hmm. We're on every major podcast platform and on the tubes. We are, have a great week, everybody. Bye.